Have you ever read something so terrifying, so bone-chilling, that it kept you awake at night? Revelation 9 isn't just another chapter in the Bible, it's a vision that makes even the bravest hearts tremble. But here's the thing, it's not written to scare you, it's written to prepare you. Most people skim over it, but what if I told you that ignoring this chapter could cost you more than you think? Think about it. This isn't some ancient, irrelevant text. The events described in Revelation 9 are eerily connected to what we're seeing today: global chaos, spiritual battles, and a world on edge. And yet, so many people are blind to the warnings right in front of them. The question is, are you paying attention, or are you letting these messages pass you by? What if I told you that the answers to some of life's deepest mysteries are hidden in this chapter? Stay with me, because by the end of this journey, you'll not only understand why Revelation 9 is the scariest chapter in the Bible, but you'll also know exactly what it's calling you to do. Trust me, this isn't just a Bible study, it's a wake-up call. John's revelation is rooted in a moment of profound adversity, penned by the Apostle John during his time in Ephesus. Imagine a man, exiled for his unwavering faith, living under the shadow of Emperor Domitian's brutal reign. Christians faced unspeakable horrors, public executions, forced labor, and societal rejection. Yet, amidst this storm, John received a divine vision that would forever alter the course of Christianity. It's as though in the darkest night, he was handed a torch, not just for himself but for generations to come. Picture this, John wasn't just writing words on parchment, he was crafting hope for the persecuted. Think of a young believer hiding in a Roman catacomb, clutching a fragile copy of Revelation. Those words weren't mere comfort, they were lifelines, a beacon that God's justice would prevail. What would it feel like to know that your suffering wasn't unnoticed but part of a greater, divine narrative? That's the kind of assurance Revelation offered. Ephesus itself, a bustling hub of trade and pagan worship, added layers to John's mission. Surrounded by temples to false gods, John's revelation was a stark counterpoint to the spiritual confusion of the time. Imagine living in a city where idolatry was not just normalized but celebrated. John's vision wasn't just countercultural, it was revolutionary. He was calling people out of darkness into light, an act of courage that resonates even today. The persecution under Domitian was unlike anything modern believers might face. Families torn apart, faith tested by fire, literally. Yet, John's steadfastness became a model for believers. How many of us today, faced with far lesser trials, falter in our faith? Reading Revelation isn't just about decoding symbols, it's about confronting ourselves. What would we stand for when the pressure mounts? John's exile didn't silence him, it amplified his voice. Think about it. Isn't it often in isolation that clarity emerges? Whether it's a retreat in the mountains or moments of solitude and prayer, separation can birth revelation. John's experience is a powerful reminder to seek God, especially when the world seems to crumble around us. And here's the beauty, this wasn't just John's story. It was a message to every believer that faithfulness holds eternal reward. But the narrative doesn't stop here. John's revelation, rich in symbolism and prophecy, takes us deeper into the mysteries of faith, as we'll soon explore. Revelation isn't just a book, it's a masterpiece of divine orchestration. Its structure unfolds like a celestial symphony, each vision building upon the last. From the letters to the seven churches to the climactic scenes of judgment and redemption, every part carries a weight of purpose. Imagine holding a treasure map, each symbol and prophecy a clue leading to the ultimate reward. That's the kind of intricate design Revelation offers. The letters to the seven churches form the book's foundation, a blend of encouragement and warning. Picture a community struggling with complacency, persecution, or compromise. These letters, though ancient, mirror modern challenges. Take Laodicea, known for being lukewarm. How many today struggle with apathy in their faith? John's words cut through time, challenging believers to stay fervent and focused. As you journey deeper, the visions shift to cosmic proportions. The seals, trumpets, and bowls create a crescendo of divine intervention. Each layer reveals a piece of God's redemptive plan. Imagine watching a tapestry being woven, each thread essential, every detail intentional. That's how revelation unfolds, chaotic yet controlled, terrifying yet reassuring. The imagery can be overwhelming, beasts, angels, plagues, but they aren't random. They're signposts, guiding believers through the spiritual battles we face. Think of it like a dream packed with vivid symbols, each one challenging you to look beyond the surface. For instance, the number 7, repeated throughout, signifies perfection and completion, a divine fingerprint on every page. What makes Revelation unique is its duality. It warns of judgment yet overflows with hope. The same visions that terrify also comfort. For every warning of wrath, there's a promise of restoration. Imagine a parent disciplining a child, not out of anger but love, to guide them to something greater. That's the heart of Revelation, justice tempered with mercy. And this is only the beginning. These prophecies, wrapped in mystery and awe, set the stage for deeper revelations. With each symbol and vision, a story emerges, calling readers to uncover the layers of meaning and prepare for what lies ahead. The 7 trumpets are not just announcements, they're wake-up calls from heaven, shaking both earth and spirit. Each blast unleashes a catastrophic event, signaling divine judgment and the urgency of repentance. Imagine hearing a trumpet in the dead of night. It jolts you awake, demanding attention. That's the very essence of these celestial warnings. They're impossible to ignore, and their impact echoes through time. The first 4 trumpets focus on natural calamities, fires scorching the earth, waters turning bitter, and celestial bodies darkened. These aren't random disasters, they symbolize the fragility of human reliance on creation rather than the Creator. Think of how dependent we are on the environment for food, water, and light. Now, picture all of that being stripped away in moments. It's a vivid reminder of who truly holds authority over the universe. Then, the 5th trumpet takes a darker turn, releasing demonic locusts from the abyss. These aren't ordinary creatures, they're agents of spiritual torment, targeting those who lack God's seal. It's a sobering image, isn't it? Imagine the sheer terror of facing forces you cannot see but deeply feel. This vision isn't just about fear, it's a call to spiritual readiness, urging believers to anchor themselves in faith before such trials arise. The 6th trumpet escalates the chaos, unleashing an army from the Euphrates, bringing widespread destruction. Yet, even in this devastation, there's a deeper message. These events don't happen in isolation, they're intricately woven into God's plan for justice. It's like a story with layers upon layers, where every detail points to a greater purpose. And in this case, the purpose is to bring humanity to repentance. Despite these terrifying judgments, many remain unrepentant. It's a heartbreaking paradox. Even as the world crumbles, some hearts stay hardened. How often do people ignore warnings until it's too late? This part of Revelation serves as a mirror, challenging us to examine our own responses to life's wake-up calls. Are we listening, or are we turning a blind eye? The trumpets, though alarming, aren't the end of the story. They pave the way for something even greater, a deeper unveiling of God's plan and the ultimate triumph of His kingdom. But to grasp the full meaning, we must delve further into the rich symbolism that Revelation so vividly portrays. Revelation's symbolism isn't just poetic, it's profoundly purposeful, designed to convey spiritual truths in unforgettable ways. Think about it, how do you explain cosmic battles and divine mysteries to finite minds? You use symbols, imagery that strikes the heart and stirs the soul. From dragons to locusts, every image carries a message, a warning, or a promise meant to resonate through generations. Take the dragon, for example, a vivid depiction of Satan himself. Its ferocity and relentless pursuit of the woman in Revelation 12 symbolize the devil's ceaseless attack on God's people. Picture a predator stalking its prey, waiting for the right moment to strike. Yet, even in this terrifying vision, there's hope. The woman, representing the church, is divinely protected, a reminder that God never abandons his own. Then there are the locusts, grotesque creatures that emerge from the abyss. They're not ordinary pests, they symbolize demonic forces unleashed during the tribulation. Their mission? To torment those without God's seal. It's a chilling thought, but also a call to action. What does it mean to be sealed by God? It's a spiritual alignment, a commitment to live under his authority and protection. The question is, are we taking that step? The symbolism extends beyond creatures to numbers and objects. The number 7, for instance, represents completeness, while the 4 horsemen depict various aspects of human suffering, conquest, war, famine, and death. These symbols aren't meant to confuse but to challenge us. They ask us to look beyond the physical and into the spiritual implications of our world. What battles are we fighting today that mirror these visions? Understanding Revelation's imagery isn't just an intellectual exercise, it's a spiritual awakening. These symbols are tools, equipping believers to navigate the complexities of faith. Imagine a map filled with cryptic markers. Decoding them doesn't just lead to understanding, it leads to transformation. By grasping their meaning, we're not only prepared for the future but also empowered to live boldly in the present. But Revelation doesn't stop with symbols, it takes us deeper into the heart of the divine narrative. As we continue, we'll encounter the abyss and its horrors, unraveling the mysteries of spiritual warfare and the ultimate victory promised to those who endure. The locusts from the abyss are among the most haunting visions in Revelation, their very existence a declaration of spiritual warfare. Emerging during the tribulation, these creatures are unlike anything seen in nature, grotesque, otherworldly, and terrifyingly purposeful. They're not here to devour crops, their target is the unsealed, those unprotected by God's mark. Imagine an army of relentless tormentors, symbolizing the darkest spiritual forces unleashed upon humanity. These locusts represent more than physical torment, they're a vivid picture of the consequences of rejecting God. Their sting, described as akin to a scorpion's, mirrors the pain of a guilty conscience or the agony of spiritual separation. It's a sobering reminder of the stakes in our spiritual choices. What decisions are we making today that leave us vulnerable to such forces? It's a question worth pondering deeply. The abyss itself, often referred to as the bottomless pit, is a realm of chaos and demonic confinement. Picture a prison for the most malevolent spirits, a place so dreadful that its release marks a turning point in divine judgment. Yet, even in this horror, God's sovereignty shines. The locusts are restrained by his command, limited in their destruction. This isn't random chaos, it's controlled justice, a reflection of a God who remains in control even in the darkest moments. The torment inflicted by these locusts lasts 5 months, a specific time frame that carries symbolic weight. It's not eternal, but it's excruciating, a period meant to awaken repentance. Imagine enduring suffering so intense that people long for death, yet it eludes them. It's a stark illustration of the cost of spiritual rebellion, a wake-up call that urges readers to take their faith seriously. The locusts also highlight a profound spiritual truth, the protection offered by God's seal. Those who belong to him are spared from their torment, a striking contrast to the fate of the unsealed. It's a call to action for believers, to ensure their alignment with God, not through fear but through love and trust. What practical steps can we take? Prayer, study, and living out our faith daily become shields against the spiritual forces we face. And so, the abyss doesn't just reveal horrors, it points to hope. As the narrative unfolds, it challenges us to reflect on the 144,000 sealed, those divinely marked for protection and salvation. Their story is a testament to God's unwavering plan and a reminder that even in judgment, redemption is never out of reach. The 144,000 sealed individuals in Revelation stand as a testament to God's sovereignty and his plan for redemption. These chosen ones aren't just a random number, they symbolize divine protection in the midst of chaos. Imagine being marked by God himself, set apart not for comfort but for purpose. Their seal isn't just physical, it's spiritual, a sign of unwavering faith and commitment. This group, drawn from the tribes of Israel, reflects the continuity of God's promises. From Abraham to the Apocalypse, his covenant remains unbroken. But what does this mean for believers today? It's a reminder that God's faithfulness transcends time. When you feel forgotten or lost in the shuffle of life, remember the 144,000, they're proof that God sees and remembers His own, no matter the circumstances. The sealed are spared from the plagues and judgments that ravage the unrepentant. Their protection doesn't make them immune to suffering, but it ensures they're secure in God's ultimate plan. Think about it, how often do we mistake protection for the absence of hardship? The 144,000 teach us that being sealed by God doesn't eliminate challenges, it gives us the strength to endure them with purpose. Their role isn't passive, they're active participants in God's redemptive story. Imagine being a beacon of hope in a world consumed by darkness. That's the mission of the sealed. For us, it's a challenge to reflect on our own lives. Are we living as marked people, visible witnesses of God's grace and truth? It's a call to step boldly into our purpose, no matter how daunting it may seem. The number itself, 144,000, is steeped in symbolism. 12 tribes, 12 apostles, multiplied to signify completeness and divine order. It's a reassurance that God's plan is perfect, even when it seems incomprehensible. When life feels chaotic, it's comforting to know that every detail is accounted for in His design. The sealed are a living declaration of that truth. As Revelation continues, the narrative shifts from these sealed individuals to the broader picture of judgment and redemption. Their story serves as a bridge, connecting the chaos of tribulation to the hope of ultimate salvation. And through their example, we're invited to ponder our place in God's unfolding plan, a plan that is both challenging and deeply comforting. Judgment and redemption, two sides of the same divine coin, are at the heart of Revelation's narrative. The catastrophic events depicted aren't merely acts of wrath, they're calls to repentance, echoes of God's deep desire for humanity to turn back to Him. Imagine a parent disciplining a child, not out of anger, but out of love and the hope of guiding them onto the right path. That's the essence of these judgments, tough love with eternal stakes. Despite the devastation, many remain unrepentant, clinging to their rebellion. It's a painful paradox, isn't it? Even in the face of undeniable evidence of God's power, some hearts refuse to soften. Think about modern parallels. How often do we see people ignore warning signs in life, whether in health, relationships, or spirituality, until it's too late? Revelation forces us to confront our own resistance to change and the consequences of ignoring divine wake-up calls. Yet, amid the chaos, redemption shines through like a beacon. Those who turn to God, even in the 11th hour, find grace and restoration. It's a powerful reminder that no one is ever beyond saving. Imagine the thief on the cross, forgiven in his final moments, a testament to the boundless reach of God's mercy. For believers, it's a call to extend that same grace to others, knowing that redemption is always within reach. The tension between divine justice and human free will is palpable throughout Revelation. God's judgments are just, but they never override our ability to choose. This balance is both sobering and empowering. It reminds us that our choices matter deeply. How we respond to life's trials, whether with faith or resistance, shapes not just our present but our eternal future. It's a profound responsibility and a humbling privilege. Revelation's depiction of judgment isn't just about punishment, it's about restoration. The new heaven and new earth, promised at the book's end, reveal God's ultimate plan to renew all things. Imagine a world free from pain, sorrow, and death, a reality beyond our wildest dreams but one firmly anchored in God's promises. This vision isn't just for the future, it's meant to inspire hope and perseverance today. And as the narrative unfolds, we see that judgment is not the end but a pathway to ultimate reconciliation. The story draws us closer to the culmination of God's plan, a plan that promises eternal communion with Him for those who endure. It's a breathtaking glimpse of what awaits, a vision that urges us to press on with unwavering faith. Now that you've uncovered the depths of Revelation's mysteries, the question remains, what will you do with this knowledge? Are you ready to take a step forward in your spiritual journey, or will these truths remain just words on a page? Remember, understanding these prophecies is only the beginning. The real transformation happens when you let them guide your actions and shape your faith. Have you ever considered how your daily life could change if you embraced this divine wisdom? What would it look like to live as someone truly sealed by God, prepared for the trials and triumphs ahead? Maybe it's time to dive deeper, to move from knowing to doing. After all, your spiritual journey deserves more than half measures, it deserves your full commitment. If you're ready to take that step, I've created something just for you. Christian Journey, Exploring the Bible in the 27 Steps, is more than a guide, it's a blueprint for living out your faith with purpose and power. It's packed with practical insights, strategies, and exercises to help you connect with God on a deeper level. You'll find the link pinned in the comments below. Take a look, it might be exactly what you need. Thank you for watching and joining me in exploring these profound truths. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Together, we'll continue unraveling the wonders of the Bible, one chapter at a time. Your journey doesn't end here, it's just beginning.